Joseph Stalin remains one of the most polarizing figures in history. As the leader of the Soviet Union from the mid-1920s until his death in 1953, his rule was marked by rapid industrialization, military victories, and totalitarian repression. His leadership transformed the Soviet Union into a global superpower, but at an immense human cost. Born in 1878 in Gori, Georgia, Stalin's early years were shaped by poverty and hardship. His original name, Joseph Bessarionis de Jugashvili, reflected his Georgian heritage. He later adopted the name Stalin, meaning man of steel, as he climbed the ranks of the Bolshevik Party. His involvement in revolutionary activities led to numerous arrests and exiles in the early 20th century. Following the Russian Revolution of 1917, Stalin became a key figure in the Soviet government. He initially served as the People's Commissar for Nationalities before being appointed General Secretary of the Communist Party in 1922. This seemingly bureaucratic position enabled him to consolidate power by placing loyalists in key positions, eventually outmaneuvering rivals such as Leon Trotsky. After Lenin's death in 1924, Stalin gradually eliminated political opponents through purges, forced exiles and executions. By the late 1920s, he had become the unchallenged leader of the Soviet Union. One of his most defining policies was the collectivization of agriculture. Initiated in 1928, this forced consolidation of small farms into state-run collectives aimed to increase agricultural output but led to widespread famine, most notably the Holodomor in Ukraine, which claimed millions of lives. Simultaneously, Stalin launched a series of 5-year plans to industrialize the Soviet economy. These policies achieved remarkable growth in heavy industries such as steel and coal production, but at the cost of harsh working conditions and widespread human rights abuses. Between 1936 and 1938, Stalin orchestrated the Great Purge, a campaign of political repression targeting party officials, military leaders, and ordinary citizens. Show trials led to executions or exile to labor camps known as gulags, creating an atmosphere of fear and paranoia. Stalin's government also controlled all aspects of society through propaganda, censorship, and strict limitations on personal freedoms. His cult of personality was built around an image of infallibility, and dissent was ruthlessly crushed. Stalin played a crucial role in World War II, though his foreign policy decisions were initially controversial. In 1939, he signed the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact with Nazi Germany, a non-aggression treaty that allowed Hitler to invade Poland without fear of Soviet interference. However, when Germany broke the pact and invaded the Soviet Union in 1941, Stalin quickly shifted to full-scale war mobilization. Under Stalin's leadership, the Soviet Union became a decisive force against Nazi Germany, culminating in the Red Army's capture of Berlin in 1945. Despite early military setbacks, Soviet resilience and industrial might contributed significantly to the Allied victory. The war, however, came at a devastating cost, with millions of Soviet citizens perishing in the conflict. Following the war, Stalin sought to expand Soviet influence, leading to the Cold War with the United States and its allies. He established communist regimes across Eastern Europe, creating a sphere of influence that defined global geopolitics for decades. Domestically, Stalin maintained strict control, launching new purges and suppressing perceived threats. He continued to enforce heavy industrialization and scientific advancements, including the development of nuclear weapons, making the Soviet Union a nuclear superpower. Stalin died on March 5, 1953, leaving behind a Soviet Union that had become a global superpower, but at the cost of immense human suffering. His death led to a power struggle, eventually resulting in Nikita Khrushchev's rise to power. In 1956, Khrushchev famously denounced Stalin's crimes in his secret speech, leading to de-Stalinization efforts across the Soviet Union. Stalin's legacy remains deeply contested. Some view him as a brutal dictator responsible for mass repression, forced labor camps, and the deaths of millions. Others credit him with industrializing the Soviet Union, leading the country to victory in World War II and making it a superpower. Joseph Stalin's rule fundamentally shaped the Soviet Union and the world. His leadership was marked by rapid industrial progress and military success, yet also by unparalleled repression and suffering. His complex legacy continues to spark debate, as historians and scholars weigh his contributions against the human cost of his rule. For more bite-sized bits of blistering history, please like and subscribe.